Hello berries, and welcome to the complete guide about the Ghostface. Ghostface is a stealth killer, but I have seen plenty of people play him, especially on lower ranks, and they make quite a lot of mistakes. To be honest, Ghostface was one of the killers I struggled with the most, but after practicing him for a very long time, I learned that he can be a very powerful killer. I honestly put him on tier B, and that is where, in my opinion, he deserves to be. Very potent, very scary killer, and a lot of fun, but can be also very weak if used wrong. So let's delve into the world of stealth, darkness at its finest. Now, the Ghostface. When Ghostface is powerless, is not using his ability, he's got the basic attributes, always written correctly here. He's on 115% speed killer, 32 meter radius, and he's got an average height. Pretty basic standards. You see these standards in a lot of killers. You got it in Freddy Krueger, you got it in Pig, nothing too special here. Now Ghostface's abilities and terror radius and everything changes when he uses his power called Night Shroud. When Ghostface enters Night Shroud, you see him changing his posture. You see him raising his hand and looking like he's creeping about. Now, when Ghostface enters Night Shroud, his terror radius shrinks to nil. He walks a little bit slower, nothing too significant. You can hardly tell the difference. And when he's in stealth, Ghostface can stalk, much like Myers. Myers, on one hand, builds his power on draining people and then has power to unleash upon any survivor. Ghostface stalks each survivor individually. When Ghostface has fully stalked a survivor, he stays marked for 45 seconds, indicated by a red circle around their portrait, and if Ghostface basic attacks them, that survivor goes down instantly. Now, there's a lot of things that should be taken into consideration when playing the Ghostface. 1. Survivors can break you out of your stealth, and when you're out of your stealth, when you lose your Night Shroud, you cannot continue stalking, and you're just a basic M1 killer. Ghostface's power comes back to him without add-ons each 30 seconds. That is very, very painful. You gotta be very careful not to lose your stealth that many times. Unless if you have already made a lot of damage with it. So, Ghostface can also crouch. He does not need to be in Night Shroud while he does it. Of course, it helps him a lot with his Night Shroud. It shrinks his body, shrinks his collision, so survivors will not break you out as easily when you crouch. Of course, you move a little bit slower when you crouch. It's just obvious. Another thing that you should be taking into consideration is that when you stalk people, you should be, for the most part, leaning around objects. When you lean around an object and stalk like that, Ghostface does it twice as fast. So you should be, for the most part, leaning behind an object and stalking the survivors in such a way. 1. You stalk them faster. 2. Most of your body is covered, so it'll be harder for a survivor to break you out if you are doing it from cover. And like sometimes it gets dirty. It gets like a competition of who does the other faster, you know? Do you stalk the survivor faster or he breaks you out faster? That's why you want to avoid that competition. You do not want to be out in the open stalking survivors. The survivor will probably break you out faster than you're able to stalk them. That's why you want to do it around the corner, where they can't break you as easily, and you can mark them even before they can say anything else about it. When Ghostface uses his basic attack while in Night Shroud, he loses his undetectable status effect. So you should know when to attack. Let's go over Ghostface's perks. There's 3 of them. His perks are rather amazing. The first 2 perks in particular are being used a lot, especially on red ranks. I'm all ears is an amazing chasing perk. It suits every killer. I have never seen a killer that cannot gain any benefit out of this perk. And what essentially it does is it's an aura-eating perk for the killer. If a survivor is performing a rushed action like leaving a locker quickly, vaulting a window fast, vaulting a pallet quickly, you'll be able to see their auras for 6 seconds so long as that action happened 48 meters around your radius. I'm all ears on the last level has a cooldown of 40 seconds. This is an amazing perk. It gives you 6 seconds of being able to read where the survivor is going and intercept them from the best possible angle. Recommended killers that gain the most out of this perk are Nurse. I personally use it on Nurse all the time, especially around closed maps where it's difficult to know where survivors are going. And but really, it's a good perk for any killer. Then you've got Thrilling Tremors. When you pick a survivor up, whether if you perform the interrupt grab action or you just pick them up from the floor, the entity blocks any and all generators that are not being worked on by survivors for 16 seconds. The generators that are blocked are marked in a white aura. Thrilling Tremors can be triggered each 80 seconds on the 3rd level. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself initially, why do I want to block generators that survivors are not working on? And that is a good question, and I'll explain to you why. Survivors have 2 options. They either leave it the gen, in which case it gets blocked for 16 seconds, or they continue working on it, and then you as the Ghostface can see that that gen is not highlighted in white, and you can go over there and you can intercept the survivors in the area. This is essentially like a better version of barbecue when it comes to information, but the only difference is that it doesn't give you blood points. Like if I had to choose between this and barbecue, I would probably go for this. The only reason I do go for barbecue is for the points. That's really the only reason. And then you've got Furtive Chase. Furtive Chase is an obsession perk. You don't really see this perk that much. I can only imagine that it might be useful on Michael Myers. And I'll explain to you in a second why. You become obsessed with one survivor, you lurk in the shadows, eliminating your victims one by one. When you hook your obsession, Furtive Chase receives a token up to a maximum of 4 tokens on the 3rd level. Each token decreases your terror radius by 4 meters while in a chase. If this decreases your terror radius by 4 in every situation, then it could have been awesome. But it only decreases your terror radius mid-chase, so it's not really, it's not really useful. So, on the last level, you can get 4 tokens. Each token decreases your terror radius by 4. So 16 meters in total on the last level. That can work really nicely for a tier 2 Myers that has a terror radius of 16 meters. That way you will not have a terror radius at all at tier 2. I should try that out. I never did, but it does sound like fun. But I digress. Let's continue on with this perk description. When a survivor rescues the obsession from the hook, the rescuer becomes the obsession, and you lose all of your tokens if the obsession is sacrificed or killed. Essentially, if the obsession leaves the match, you lose any and all progress you made with this perk. That's what makes this perk so not reliant. It's a real shame. This perk doesn't give you that much to begin with, and now that you also lose all of the progress that you made throughout the entire match, I don't know. I think the developers can buff this perk a little bit just to make it sure that it actually works. My recommendation would be to decrease your terror radius by 8. In general, 2 meters for each time you hook the obsession. Alright berries, so this is the build I would recommend beginner players. What's so good about Ghostface is, let's say you have only Ghostface and the beginner base kit killers, is that a lot of perks from the beginner base kit killers fit Ghostface very, very well. You got Nurses Calling, that you can see survivors healing from 28 meters away, and this is great because you can use Night Shroud and they won't hear you coming, and you can surprise them and attack them just before they finish healing. You got Sloppy Butcher, which is a perk that doesn't belong to any killer. You can get this for the Ghostface. He gets very easy hits because he always surprises people from his Night Shroud. They don't see him coming. And because Sloppy Butcher makes it so that they heal longer, you will gain more information from nurses. You got Brutal Strength by the Trapper. Some people take Enduring. I don't really like Enduring on Ghostface because if someone drops a pallet on you, you will lose your Night Shroud. With Brutal Strength, you'll break pallets and might even be able to keep your Night Shroud active if there's a survivor didn't break you out. You got Whispers. Whispers is probably Ghostface's best information perk. At the start of the game, you enter your power and you don't need to crouch as much because you know no survivor can break you out. When Whispers activates, you see that I personally tend to crouch, so survivors might not spot me, and I can approach the area where they are with greater caution. It has a lot of other values, and with time, I know this is a pretty difficult perk to use for beginners, but if you know how to use Whispers, you're gonna gain so much mileage out of this perk, more than any other. Other perks that I could recommend for beginners are Bitter Murmur. Each time survivors finish a generator, you see any and all survivors that are around that finished generator for 5 seconds. And when the last generator is repaired, you see all survivors everywhere for 10 seconds. You could pair this with No Way, then you get very, very nasty downs. What else? You can use I'm All Ears. Ghostface's own perk. You can enter Night Shroud, they don't know where you're coming from, and you can see their aura once again. Thrilling Tremors just in general is a good information perk. Yeah, there's plenty of great perks for Ghostface. But in the upcoming game we'll be using all of these 4 perks. I like their synergy, I like how they work. And nothing too special when it comes to the add-ons. This add-on makes it so that my power recovers slightly faster, not even noticeable that much. And this makes it so that I stock survivors a little bit faster when I'm not leaning, which is something I don't do. I always lean. And that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming beginner build match, and we'll see you after this match. Okay, so you got a relatively not the best map for Ghostface. This map is kind of open, that you might be able to expose me here. So you enter stealth, you walk around, you don't need to be afraid, no survivors are around me. Whispers makes sure of that. When Whispers lights up, that means there is a survivor in my 32-meter radius. For now, so far so good, as they say. They have all spawned at that gen. I cannot believe it. That's perfect. I mark that girl, methinks. I mark a lot of them, actually. Hey. That is very, very rare. I was able to stock all of them at the same time. Holy. That is insanely rare. They're all one hit, they're all 99'd. Next time I enter my power and stock them slightly, they're all on the ground. If I hit them, they will lose the progression. So I gotta make sure not to hit them until I fully mark them. They're running on the outskirts of the map. Time to cause some damage. Nurse is calling, they tap themselves. That girl goes down. They fucked up seriously. This is an insane amount of damage I caused. If you tap that gen, you don't have DS anymore. I'm not gonna even enter my stealth. She's down, methinks. Got her. No DS as well. No obsession. That's the second hook for this Kate. Let's put her in the basement to have a better position on them. Anyone who comes out of the basement, it's easy to mark them. The reason they got marked so quickly is because I leaned around the corner. Same, I recommend approaching it like this. Like that. That's the way you're supposed to approach. Let's kick this gen. Regress all of them. While nobody is there, the gen will regress. That'll be nice. That'll be really, really nice. Okay, now we lean. Nice. We got a lot of... She's down. That's great. I could potentially go on after that Kate, but I won't. Because I'm a kind person. That is why the basement is such a great place for a Ghostface. Kate is over there. More than enough information with nurses. She finished healing. Ooh. I didn't have to mark her, but I just wanted to do it for the points. Nice. And this girl is out of the game. Just like that. 3 hooks. Now you understand why you should be marking survivors and not hitting them? Look how quickly I got rid of her. If I would have hit her, dead hard, resilience potentially, a burst of speed from the hit. So many things could go wrong. But she was not able to get any of that. Damn it, this is bad. I'm not sure where they are. They could expose me at any given moment. Someone's looked at me. And now you're fucked. Good job. Sloppy Butcher plus nurses caught that Kate off guard and allowed me to finish her off. Did you see how good Whispers worked at the start of the game? I knew that everyone were at that one gen. Just because Whispers didn't prog on the rest of the map, you were all there. It allowed me to approach in such a fashion that I could stalk all of them at the same time. 2 people dead, 5 gens left. Now you tell me if Ghostface is anywhere lower than tier B. Whispers is off, so there's no one here. I'm just kicking gens at this point. And I have no terror radius. Utilize your stealth whenever you deem necessary. But of course not in a survivor's face, because he's just gonna expose you. Whispers progged, so they're somewhere here. She's somewhere here at the edge. She hasn't broken me out. I can keep stalking. Nice, 99. She's 1 tap away. And there she goes. She has no idea where I was coming from because I don't have any red light. And that's it. Found her easily with Whispers. Opposed the pallet easily with Brutal Strength. Downed her with my power. And now she even has Sloppy Butcher. So if she chooses to heal up, I'll just find her next time with Nurse's Calling. I might play with this build a bit more often. I can finish the game right now. It's okay, you can break me out of myself. Hey. And the last meg is here. GG, well played. The game is over. My apologies if the game was rather quick, but that's what you want to do as Ghostface. You do not want to prolong the game too much. You want to insta-down people, you want to get them out, and secure hooks very, very quickly. That was the perfect depiction of how Ghostface should work. Don't be shy. Ruthless is what you're supposed to be getting if you're using the insta-down a lot. Damn. Not the strongest matchmaking, of course. For some reason, urban evasion and self-care is very common. No idea why. GG, well played all. That's what you want to be doing as Ghostface. You want to come around the corner, lean, stalk them as quickly as possible, and get them out of commission. Alright, so now we're gonna do a match with the build that I usually use on red ranks. For the most part, like 9 out of 10 games I win as Ghostface using these perks exactly. As you can see, I'm even utilizing some of the perks that from the base kit killers. I'm still using Whispers, I'm still using Brutal Strength. And my perks of choice are Pop Goes and Corrupt Intervention. Some might use Surge, because Ghostface only utilizes basic attack and downs people relatively quickly. Some put other information perks that have to do something with gens like Discordance or Barbecue. But I personally think that Whispers can be enough if you know how to utilize it correctly. And for any and all of you that are wondering why I do not use Hex Ruin on Ghostface, is because he's not really fast, so he'll not be able to apply pressure at the start of the game when Ruin still exists. And later on, throughout the game, they might find it and ruin it and destroy your Ruin. So I'm going for the safer bet. Corrupt will bring people closer to me, and I'll be able to stalk them and maybe 99 one person while I'm downing another one. So this is what I recommend. I'm gonna be using the same 2 add-ons, nothing too special. And yeah, let's get to it. Alright you guys, so last game, I already did a game, just this minute. I had to completely erase that video. I am very, very truly sorry. The match occurred on the Gideon meat plant, and I killed everyone, I got Merciless Killer, but it did not portray what Ghostface is truly like. I was not able to mark people enough, I was not able to use my stealth as often. I played correctly and well, but it was not a Ghostface gameplay. So I felt like that type of video would be cheating you guys out of seeing what Ghostface should be like on a fair and balanced map. In the previous round I was able to mark people constantly, but the Condensity of Palace just allowed them to press spacebar essentially at any given point and make so much distance. No pallet there has any actual gameplay, so it was very, very, very abysmal. Three-part Jin's blocked. Look at that distance, man. Alright, I'm gonna go from here. Ooh. Someone is really close.
כי אני ניסיתי לבנות ונטים, ברגע שבניתי ונטים מקבלים גם את הארטיפקט של בעד הדרך.
I have no idea where they are. This is hella risky what I'm doing.
האמת שהיא ה-5 הראשון שקיבלתי.
Ooh. Wait a second. Brilliant. Ghostface can stalk people from 40 meters away. Got her. Very quick down. Very good. I'll cause some damage to this girl and leave her to her fate. That's what Ghostface is all about. Get the down faster than they can understand who they're messing with. Now they know it's a Ghostface, so they'll have to remain more vigil. Let's take this gen, destroy it. Seriously? That was so weird. I never understand these survivors and their logic. He just pressed spacebar as soon as he saw something. He didn't even drop it the right way. Lamau. Did he just... Okay. Nice, good job, I guess. Okay, but I'm continuing on you. Why did you leave the loop? One gen done. Cute fake, but not gonna get you anywhere. Wow, this guy wasted an abundance of pallets. I gotta help them. They're probably trying to finish that gen. Too slow. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, I did not make it. Oh, she knows I'm following her. Bad. There is no basement here. I have to break this door in order to take her out. Otherwise, there is no potential way I could make it. Let's pick her up and put her on the hook. Outside. This one. Nice. Not a very strong pallet. With no mind game around. Made it. Failed body blocking. Hey, Felix. Come on, man. You wanted to take a hit, no? There you go. Another gen finished. That's Springwood for you, baby. Okay. I gotta get someone out of this match. Okay. Nice. Imagine unhooking and I successfully grabbed the person that unhooked. Pretty good job so far. Continuing. Oh, you're there. Yeah, no borrow time because I was undetectable when I performed the grab. No DS because there's no obsession. They did me dirty by sending me to this map. I'm gonna do them dirty. There we go. Let's get rid of another gen rusher, shall we? You're gonna have to come here. Thank you. I'll gladly trade a hook. I could have done that better, but I don't want to linger about. Nice, he killed himself on hook. Perfectly fine with that. Lost my power. Felix is down here. Felix is down here. There were blood marks and scratch marks that were not his here. That were not Nia's, I mean. Let's break this god door. They should have done a gameplay rework and not graphical rework on these maps. I lost 3 gens because it's Springwood. Nothing else. That's literally the only reason. Whispers is not here, so they're not in this area. I forgot to use that perk. My apologies. That was very amateur-like of me. No whispers, so they're not here. No need to linger in this area if they're not here. The gen on the ground, maybe? They're not on any of the gens. Whispers was off in all of them. Might as well break a few pallets, right? We got brutal strength. We cleared it out of the way very quickly. Nope. Whisper's gone. Nice.
וואו, רגע.
Nice. That's perfect for me. They're both 99'd. Felix is just a view away from getting his ass on the ground. Just like that. Now he's gonna have to drop this god pallet. You saw? It's all about the way of your approach. Hey, he has no idea where I was coming from because of my undetectable. And down he goes. Felix is on first hook. If he feels inclined to kill himself so the Nia can find the hatch, feel free. You're marked. And down she goes. Just like that, man. Hatch is inside the building. Sorry, girl. I'm not gonna give you it. You guys sent me on this map. I have no idea who done it, but the person who done it made my life a living hell. I had to play a little bit dirty. And I don't like playing dirty. I like playing for fun. So, when it comes to Ghostface, same principles as at the start. The way I got that Meg was because I approached from a direction that she did not expect it. Ghostface can stalk people from 40 meters away. 40 meters. The distance between Ghostface and Myers is that it doesn't matter from where you stalk them. You stalk them the same amount of speed. When I lean as Ghostface around the corner, a survivor that's 10 meters away or a survivor that's 30 meters away, I stalk them the same speed. As Michael Myers, when you stalk people, it's the closer you are, the more power, the quickly you get your power. This is not the case with Ghostface. This is why it's perfectly fine if you want to 99 someone from across the field and then approach them, max them out, and down them. Don't fully mark someone when you're nowhere near close to instantly downing them. If you mark someone from 40 meters away, he'll panic, he'll go to the pallet, he'll sprint burst away, and then just it'll take you time to chase that person. All right, you do not want to chase him. You want him out. That's what you want to be doing as Ghostface. That Meg did not know she was facing a Ghostface. She was not expecting it. And then I caught her off guard and I downed her just before she got to the pallet. I didn't have my power yet, but I squeezed a hit on Nia to get her out of there so she will not try to save the Meg and to stay away from that generator so I can pop it with Pop Goes and apply pressure in the area. Securing the gen, securing the hook, and in generally capitalizing on whatever you need, on whomever you need. If a survivor is insanely close to you, 1 or 2 meters away, do not try to stalk them. If the survivor is semi-aware of how to play against a Ghostface, he'll just break you out of your power. You want to get into you want to be stalk survivors that are either unaware of you or survivors that are running away and are relatively far so they can't break you out. Let's say a survivor is running away from you, he's 15 meters away or 10 meters away. Enter your stealth, go around the corner, 99 him, and leave him to his fate. Next time you see him, you fully mark him and down him. And of course, there's no need to bother with marking injured survivors, just basic attack them, down them with your Night Shroud. And that's it. That's how you play Ghostface on Reddit. I wish there were like tips and tricks, like techniques with Ghostface, but it's just knowing how to approach each situation. You'll get that the more you play Ghostface. And well, I think that about covers it. I know this tutorial was slightly shorter, but Ghostface is a simple killer. Once you get his mechanic boiled down, you get it right, and you know how to approach each situation, then you're golden. You're golden. You're gonna be probably one of the best Ghostfaces ever. Thank you all so much, berries. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.